Cross the Caucasus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 70 Lions.
They'll set up to throw. They set up the screen for Henderson. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Here is 3rd down and 4. Back to throw here. He'll get this complete to the rookie first-round pick. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. On play action, they'll throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. He'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their 1st drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box, find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up the way you establish your run game.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down. Daly. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Now back to throw. Pass caught by Burden. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. When you talk about this Jets defense, they've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
They'll set up a throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man down the field. That's Burden. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 25-yard line. Clock running here. Under a minute to go now in the 1st quarter of a 3-0 game. They go play action here on 1st down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 5. On a jet sweep, here's Burden. On this one, it may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Here's 3rd and 7. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Back to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
That's good for a Jets. First down. Let's go. First and 10.
From the gun again to Henderson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The Jets had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. They've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they're able to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Running left is Henderson. The way in, touchdown, New York. Trevion Henderson with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That'll give them 8 that time. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Slant route, and he's got Addison. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that will bring up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 29-yard line. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They're going to look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw here. Throw right side here, going to be incomplete. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And New York set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5. Straight ahead is Hall. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Back to throw now on 1st down. Here's Higgins out of the right side. The Jets are going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. He's going to go up top again. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. And that's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the 1st half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Fair catch called for in May, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. Through the middle of the field. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Titans offense going to get one final possession in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they're going to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2nd and 11 now.
The 34-yard line.
They'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
First down, Titans.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
That's to the right side, caught by Burden.
Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
That's another Titans first down. First and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
And this one is right through. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there.
And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in week 4. Second half kickoff, ready to go.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here, as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get nothing out of that one. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
A give running right is Hall.
And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
On 3rd down, here's Henderson.
And we'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They're going to try and throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
And the Jets, first down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Let's go.
Hall on a give up the middle. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. And they corral him just a couple of yards shy of the end zone. 53 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
First down. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
And now they'll shift things around. They'll run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the 2nd half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. For the 5th time this game, multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for the quarterback.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
At the Titans' 36-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's a toss to Henderson, headed right. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 36 yards on the play. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. Henderson is into the end zone for a Jets touchdown. Now the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out come the Titans now. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Daly. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Let's go now. Cougar 19.
Looking to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line able to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
That is incomplete.
The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. So here are the Jets now to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. That last run going to put him over 100 yards for the ball game. This 2nd and 4. They'll go toss right with Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's the Jets punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Tennessee offense set to go again. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
70 Lions.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Titans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jets have got it.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
First down. First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Ready. Ready.
And the ball is knocked out. But I think the offense got it back. They did. Inside the 10-yard line, they avoid disaster.
At the 7-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up second and goal.
First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
They try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal.
Let's go. Cowboy 80. Ready, ready.
Running left, Coleman. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to fourth and goal.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Ready. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
And on fourth down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
That nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Another one in the books for us, partner. Always great to be by your side. And both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. And let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So for the Jets, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Typical, body of a donut, that's so typical. Treat like a god, that's so typical. Still modest, that's so typical. Don't wanna talk